Is this how people who sleep well really live? What is going on? Hey guys, it is currently 7:37 p.m. on a Monday night. Something arrived in the mail today. Wait. It's a weighted blanket. Pun not intended. And it came with a cover as well. I've already unpacked it, but that's, how nice is that? It's to help you sleep better. I imagine that it kind of feels like someone's like hugging you, you know, because you've got that weight. And apparently that can provide that soothing kind of feeling that helps you relax a little bit more. I guess that's why it's called therapy blanket. Tonight is going to be night 1, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking so far. Right now, I am both excited and skeptical, because I'm always skeptical about, you know, these techniques. I'm excited because if it works, like, hello, I might be entering a new life. Will I be irritated by the weight? You know, will I get over it and kind of just want to kick it off? Is it going to be too hot? Or is it going to be soothing? Will it actually work? There's part of me that thinks, okay, I'm dedicated to trialing this really well, so even if I might be irritated at the beginning, I will want to stick it out just to see whether it's something that I just need to get used to and then something will happen. I don't know. And I'm going to do this over a period of 6 nights, so pretty much this whole week. And this is, oh man, this is, I'm kind of excited and nervous because I have some important meetings this week, and I know that my sleep plays a massive role. I'm kind of nervous because, like, if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna be like, how am I gonna cope? I've heard really good reviews. I've heard really good things about this, so I'm just kind of like leaning towards that way, that I think it might work. Who knows? I don't know, but let's find out together. I chose 7 kilos. According to the things that I read on the internet, it's good to go by like 10% of your body weight. I weigh 53 kilos, but I feel like when I go for massages, when I do exercise, like resistance training, I do prefer to go higher in weight, and I feel like my body just wants that. So I opted for 7 kilos. Now this is, ooh, so you can't actually feel, like if you push it, you can feel something, but it doesn't feel like there's glass, or it's like tiny. Okay, so I'm going to put the cover on now. And what I discovered is that it's actually the perfect size for one person. This is the inside of the cover. This is really nice. It's like velvety. Oh look, I discovered something. There is a zip on the inside. This is the blanket. And it's got the zip, so you actually zip onto each other, so it's not going to be swimming around in the cover. There we go. Oh, I can't believe I did that with one hand. So I'm going to fasten this together. I'm about to lay down. I'm excited to see what this is going to feel like. Yeah, it feels like, it doesn't really feel like a massive weight on your body, but it does feel like the longer that I've got it on, the weight starts to settle on my body. You know what it feels like? It feels almost like those thick winter blankets, but like having a few layers of them without the heat factor. Now knowing what it feels like on, I'm kind of glad that I got the 7 kilos, because I feel like the 5 kilos I really wouldn't have felt too much. Good night. I went to bed at 10:30 and I got up at 7:30. That is a good run for me. I woke up a few times in the middle of the night, and that's partially because I needed to pee. My regular habit normally does involve taking a blanket off and then putting it back on, and then taking it off and then putting it back on. I would do that with like a normal blanket anyway, because my body feels warm sometimes and then it feels cold. So I think tonight I'm gonna take the cover off the blanket and just sleep with the blanket. I didn't expect this to come so soon, but I typically sleep on my side because I have like a little bit of scoliosis, so I feel like my spine straightens out when I sleep to my side. This is gonna sound so weird, but I tuck my elbow underneath my rib cage because I feel like it supports my spine and it straightens my spine. Last night I went and did that, and of course like the blanket was fully on me, and I just remember thinking to myself, this feels so nice on my back. Despite the waking up and whatnot, I feel pretty refreshed today. Let's see how we go with night 2. I'm gonna take off the covers. It's 9:43 p.m. night 2. I'm going to take the cover off tonight because last night I kept on taking the blanket off and putting it back on, so it's coming off tonight. And let's see if I get up as much as I do tonight. Hey guys, night 2. It is now approaching 10 p.m. It's like 9:54 or something. You can hear in the background the TV is on. I will put this on to block the light. I was on my laptop until about 9:15 p.m. How am I feeling? I'm currently tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. Good night. You know what? I slept until my alarm, which was 7 a.m. and when I heard my alarm, I was still in a very deep sleep. Last night I went to bed and I was still very excitable. Normally when I am on my laptop up until like the evening, I get fired up with ideas and I'll start talking to my partner and he's just like, babe, you need to relax. I got cozied up in the blanket. I guess I just decided to go to sleep. You know how I took off the cover? It was actually the perfect thing because it was like the perfect temperature for me last night. So I wasn't like waking up, taking it off, putting it back on. Here in Brisbane, it can get cooler between the hours of 4 and 5 a.m. and I remember kind of just waking up a little bit feeling a little bit chilly, so I took my partner's blanket and put it on top of my blanket. Oh, I also did something a little bit different because I wasn't feeling hot through the night. Last night I put my arms inside the blanket as well because the first night I was like sleeping with my arms out, so I pretty much cocooned myself inside the blanket. I just remember thinking this morning I woke up so relaxed that I kind of just naturally flowed out of bed and was in a good mood. So that's a report after night 2. Night 3. It is now 10:15 p.m. We went to dinner tonight, so we got home a little bit later. I'm feeling pretty wired because, you know, dinner, conversations, blah, blah, blah. Dessert, I had some fruit. I had a slice of cheesecake and I also had a Snickers ice cream bar. The reason I'm sharing this is because, you know, they say the food that you eat before bed is important because that impacts your energy. And so I've had a fair bit of sugar tonight. But at the same time, I do feel tired. I think we've got a few things that are going to impact my sleep. But let's see if this... Maybe not. Maybe not. I remember I was recording at 10:15. To be generous, I went to sleep at about 11 p.m. And then today I woke up before my alarm. My alarm was set at 7:30 and I woke up at about 7 a.m. Last night's sleep was definitely not as deep as the first 2 nights. But as well, I've got to say that I'm not really expecting this blanket to perform miracles and undo my own choices, such as eating Snickers bars and cheesecake and sweet fruit right before I go to bed. What I'm really monitoring here is the quality of my sleep over a string of days without changing too much of my habits, because what I did last night, it's not a regular thing for me. So I'm just going to go back to my normal routine. I'm going to give you an idea of how like the weight is. Ready? I'm going to peel it off. Watch the weight. You hear that? Night 4. My activities today mainly involved work. I'll be honest with you, like right now I have ideas. I'm just thinking about my to-do list, but I'm also feeling pretty tired considering my quality of sleep. I feel like it wasn't as deep as it was the first 2 nights. Since this experiment, the truth is I've had really good sleep, so I actually look forward to going to bed. So this is night number 4 already. Is it really night number 4? Yeah. So I started on Monday. Good morning. This is the day after night 4 and I'll tell you, I had my doubts. I'll tell you what happened. Got to bed and as usual, my partner ends up falling asleep faster than I do, even though I was the one with the eye shades on with intention to fall asleep. I kind of like tossed and turned for a bit and in the middle of the night, I did sort of not really wake up, but I did sort of get up to remove the blanket, then put the blanket on. I felt like I had gone back into night number 1, which was adjusting my temperature and like getting used to the blanket. And so this is where I was like, oh man, like, is this even working? But guess what? I didn't check my phone. I didn't check the time to see what time this was all happening. It must have been early on in my sleep where I hadn't gone into a deep sleep just yet. At whatever point, I ended up getting into a really deep sleep. So it was almost like 2 separate different nights. The first part was like tossing, turning, getting my temperature right, and like in a little bit of doubt going, what am I even doing? Like, is this even working? And then going, oh, maybe because I'm doubting it now, the placebo effect's gone. Just, I had these thoughts but it redeemed itself. You know what I discovered? I found a really good position for myself to get into in this blanket, and it makes me feel like I'm getting a massage. So now I've discovered when I'm tossing and turning, I'm gonna go into this position and then cover my whole self with a blanket. And from that moment forward, I just had this epic sleep. Despite the tossing and turning, I slept at like 11:30 last night and I got up at 7:30 just before my alarm went off, and just feel so different today in comparison to how I felt yesterday. Yesterday when I woke up, I did have that energy, but I didn't have the alertness. And today I have, like you can probably hear in my speech, I have so much, I feel so alert and I have so much energy. All right, I'll catch you tonight. Night 5, here we go. Blanket time. What can I say? I really don't have a lot to say about today, except for life is good when you have a lot of good sleep. That's what I've been having. I feel like a different person. I feel like I'm on the ball. Today I didn't have any dips through the day where I was sleepy. And to think that last night I slept past 11:30 and did have some interruptions early on in that sleep. It's now 10:41 p.m. Good night. Good morning. 7:21 and 10 out of 10. Is this how people who sleep well really live? Have I been missing out? What is going on? Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Sorry, this is me. I just got up, brushed my teeth and washed my face and then decided to make this video. Having a good night's sleep changes the person that you are. I decided to go to sleep, fell asleep, had a very deep sleep, got up once to go to the loo, and then went right back to sleep. I'm typically a positive person anyway, so to the outside, it probably doesn't look much different from how I am, but from the inside as someone who is getting better sleep, I just feel like things are easier. Night number 6. It is Saturday night and it's past 11:30 p.m. This is supposed to be the last night of this experiment. I had a great day today because I had heaps of energy because I had a good sleep last night. I'm pretty pumped that I've gotten to this end of the week. 4 out of 5 nights have been amazing so far. And the only reason why one of the nights was not amazing was because I had a load of sugar before I went to bed. Well, that's to my belief anyway. I reckon this is going to be a staple in my life now. I'll report to you tomorrow about how tonight ends up. It's a little bit cooler outside. The weather is a bit cooler at the moment, and I was like, maybe I should put the blanket cover back on. See you in the morning. It is now past 8 a.m. Sunday. Another 10 out of 10 sleep last night. This morning I could feel myself waking up at some point. I could hear the birds and I started, I guess, in my mind waking up. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna keep sleeping. And I did. I kept on sleeping. Normally, when that happens, my mind starts to wake up and my body starts to wake up and I just have to get up. But not today. It's past 8 a.m. This therapy weighted blanket has over-delivered. Not only do I wake up feeling energized and relaxed, like two things, energized, you can be energized and relaxed, but I haven't had tired spells through the day. I always kind of thought that tired spells are part of life, but according to this week, not so much. So this is it. This is how I'm going to sleep from now on with this blanket. I'm of the belief that I want to work first on my habits, like my habits first, my lifestyle first, and things that are within my control first before, getting used to taking supplements. That's my personal belief anyway. And I know not everyone is the same, but that's what I am like. That's how I think and that's how I feel. So to be able to sort of discover a solution which doesn't alter any of my habits, it doesn't alter anything that I do, it just means that I use a different blanket when I go to sleep. It's very desirable for me. So that is the end of the experiment. Therapy blankets was awesome. They're very reliable and you've seen the quality of the blanket itself, so I've left the link there in the description as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I do have a question for you. How do you rate your sleep on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not good and 10 being amazing? What do you really think your sleep quality is like over a span of 7 days? Tell me, because I want to know. Tell me, because I'm nosy. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do.